Hi y'all, it's Marisa Williams. Thanks for joining us. Today we're going to talk about transferable skills. So often when we're talking about resumes and cover letters, people are like, well, what do I put on there? And what if I'm going into a new job where I have no experience? Or what if I've not had any job experiences? That's when I always tell people to think about what transferable skills that you could highlight on your resume and your cover letter, right? So what's a transferable skill? Well, that's a skill that will transfer from one job to another. Even being a homemaker, we have skills that we use. Even if you're not married, maybe you've babysat a little kid before, like a brother or sister, or you've had a babysitting job. Even those type of skills can be transferable. So let me give you some examples, because some people are probably like, what do you mean? Okay, so let's say you're watching a kid. Let's say there's two kids. And maybe you have to supervise the activities, right? Maybe you have to schedule their activities, such as breakfast, lunch, dinner, shower time, when they're going to places. Maybe you have to schedule appointments at their doctor. Maybe you have to transfer them or transport them to said appointments, okay? So things like scheduling, I can transfer to so many different jobs. Transporting people, driving them places, that can transfer to a lot of different jobs, right? Supervising children, especially, and especially children of needs. A lot of students have, autistic children or special needs children, and having that specialty experience that not a lot of people know about can be very big in the job market. Not everybody knows about what even autism is, let alone how to handle a kid that's autistic. So if you know how to do that, you're heads and tails above all these other people that don't even know what the heck it is, let alone how to handle them, right? So that's kind of a specialty experience that not everybody has. But it's definitely a skill that will transfer because maybe you've had to control temper tantrums. Things like that, calming patients, calming children, things like that. It transfers, right? What if I'm a fast food worker? Say my only experience is McDonald's or Arby's or Wendy's or Chick-fil-A or whatever, one of those fast food places, and maybe I'm going into like surge tech or business management, and I'm like, well, how can that even relate? How can I even put that on my resume? Well, there's a way, okay? So again, focus on the transferable skills, okay? So I don't want to focus on stuff like flipping burgers, because I'm not going to do that in a hospital setting or in a management setting, right? So I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on the stuff that will transfer. So maybe interfacing with people from diverse socioeconomic backgrounds. Sounds fancy, don't it? All it means is you're talking and interfacing with people that are different, meaning they're rich, they're poor, maybe they're different ethnicities, different races, men, women, children, general public, interfacing with people from the general public. Just knowing how to talk to people is a huge skill. As a server, the communication skills, even if it's just telling people the daily specials of the day, you're making a suggestion, you're upselling. That's upselling techniques by making suggestions that they're like, oh, well, I didn't know about that lobster. Yeah, that sounds good. I'll try it. And now they've spent a lot more than if they were just going to buy that cheeseburger, right? So that's upselling. That's a transferable skill. Somebody who's done that at, Applebee's can transfer that to insurance sales or real estate sales or any other kind of sales because it's upselling. It's a technique. Again, the communication, product suggestion, knowing the menu, familiarizing yourself with the products, right? When you put stuff away at the end of the night and you're doing your counts, that's called inventory, right? You can make it sound fancy by saying inventory analysis. Ooh. Inventory analysis. You're taking inventory. Can you do inventory if you're a surge tech? Yeah, you're going to be counting your tools and making sure they're where they're supposed to be and making sure there's not one sewed up in a patient, right? Let's not have that happen. But that's why you count the tools, to make sure they're there, right? So it's inventory analysis. Doesn't matter if it's at a fast food versus a hospital. Inventory is still inventory. You're still counting the inventory, right? So that's a transferable skill. Inventory analysis. Communication. Communication is key. Almost every job is going to require some form of communication, whether it's electronic communications through email. And please always, always, always put Outlook on your resume. Why? Our student emails are through Outlook, right? A lot of companies actually use Outlook, and not everybody is familiar with that email. Believe it or not, there's some old people out there that don't even use computers. So the fact that you know how to turn one on, come on, that's putting you above somebody else, okay? Talk about that. What computer programs are you using in your program? Are you using Microsoft Word? Probably. Are you using PowerPoint? Probably. Are you using your email? That's Outlook. Social media? Come on now. I know a lot of you know about social media, right? There's one whole line on your resume just talking about your computer skills. Transferable skills. Doesn't matter if you use it at the job or not. Do you know how to use it? Yes, put it on your resume, because the next person might not know how to use it, right? What are some other transferable skills? Leadership. Again, if you're watching kids and you're being the authority over them, that's leadership, that's management. You're supervising those children, right? Use those keywords. Don't just say, I watch children. You know, I was supervising their daily activities. I was managing their daily activities, right? So how you phrase things on resumes and cover letters go a long way. And focusing on transferable skills will set you apart. I don't care if McDonald's is your only experience. Like, if you can make it sound like those skills will apply. Let's talk about somebody going from McDonald's to surge tech, for example, okay? Do you still have to clean up at McDonald's? Yeah. Okay. Do you still have to clean up as a surge tech? Yeah. Okay. So ensuring a clean environment, right? You can do that as a server or as a surge tech, even as a manager. If you're going into retail, you want to maintain a clean environment for guests, right? So surge techs, you might want to up that word and say sterile environment, or sanitized the tables after guests. So sterilization, sanitization, good little words to throw in there, because again, those keywords that those computers find that sets out one person to the next. Again, think of people who apply on like monster.com and they got the quick apply, and it's just, or Career Builder where they have a click apply and they just click apply. They don't even look at what job they're applying for. They're just like, I need a job. I'm just going to click apply and hope somebody calls me. So these employers get thousands of resumes and they got to weed them out. How? By keywords. So using some of those keywords, and again, where do you find those? Look in the job description. Filter those into your cover letter and your resume. And again, with your experiences, focus on those transferable skills, stuff like communication, leadership, like I said, inventory analysis, interfacing with people from diverse socioeconomic backgrounds, or interfacing with people from the general public. Maybe you were entrusted to keep accurate count of money. Say you were working as a registrar, maybe even as a server. Either way, you're still entrusted to keep accurate count of money, right? It sounds a lot better than saying, I worked at the register, you know. But entrusted, oh, well, they trusted you, right? Responsible for large amounts of money, right? So again, that just shows that you're responsible. It shows your initiative, shows you're trustworthy, and just the way you phrase it on your resume can make it sound so much better than the next person who might not phrase it that way. And if you're an employer and you're looking at two different resumes with the same exact experience, but one's a little bit more creative and nicely prepared with better phrasing, guess who you're going to hire? The one with the better phrasing, you know? So just keep that in mind. There's a lot of different transferable skills, and depending on what job you're going for, think of the phrasing that you could use, stuff like transferring patients, even stuff like familiar with HIPAA. If you're going into the medical field, people want to know that you know what HIPAA is. So you can just say familiar with HIPAA, familiar with medical terminology, Focus on those things. If you have nothing else to talk about, you have no other experience, talk about what you learned in school. Maybe as a surge tech, you got experience on the Da Vinci robotics system, or you learned about it, or you saw it. Maybe you went on a field trip or something, right? Management people, again, talk about communication, leadership, big things, management words, throw those in. I manage this, I supervise that. It counts as a keyword hit, but again, you're still talking about those transferable skills. So there's a lot of different people in this class with a lot of different experiences, and I wish I could give everyone a specific example. I know even military, I know we have a member of the military, and military experience can be great for transferable skills. Even stuff like working under pressure, working in a fast-paced environment. Again, that can be a restaurant as well, fast-paced environment. Working independently or as a member of the team, saying that you can work on your own or be working with a group, right? Doesn't seem like a big thing, but it is. Being able to multitask. Multitasking is something you can do at every job or as a homemaker, right? But it's a great skill to list on the resume and the cover letter. So I want you guys to think of those transferable skills, pepper those into your cover letters and your resumes, and it's just going to make you guys stand out that much more, okay? So think of the skills, think of how you can phrase it appropriately, and of course, if you have any questions, just send them my way and I'll be happy to help you out. All right, thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.